Them know, but it just in all of this, and they showed the 5 quarterbacks. I understand that we still got to be proven there, but pretty sure Fromm's going to go first round in the NFL, and he took a lot of abuse from the media this year, and a lot of it was not Jake's fault. He can't catch the ball and throw it. But I think we're going to be as good. I think we haven't fallen off. We haven't fallen off. That's been what's been said is Jordan's falling off a little bit. I don't see it. With
Derek, they're not. And we got to run. They have not fallen off. In fact, they will be a top 5 preseason team. But this is such a huge season for Kirby Smart coming up, right? Because at this point, you continue to have these recruiting classes. Can you be one of these college football playoff teams, and can you compete for a title? Oh, no, I-Man's on hold. We'll get to him on the other side. Stick around. Who knows what happens here on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
So many things to organize, so many ways to get it done during the Store More, Save More event at the Home Depot. Now it's easier than ever with clear Sterilite storage containers in tons of styles and sizes, from extra large bins to water-resistant containers and more, starting at just $1.18 each. Order online for fast and easy pickup. It's a good time to be a doer and for getting organized with help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limited time only. Event end dates vary by store. See store for details.
It's time for some straight talk. You know those football players who are all talk, no show? Well, big wireless carriers aren't much different. Well, Straight Talk Wireless doesn't give you the hype, just the savings. For just $45 a month, you'll get the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. No contract. All on the same 4G LTE networks as the big guys, but up to half the cost. Savings delivered right to your wallet. Only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
This graduation music evokes fond memories for many of us. Communities in Schools is proud to play an important role in the lives of so many high school graduates. As the nation's leading dropout prevention organization, we work inside public schools to ensure that at-risk kids have the chance to see this day. Hear what some recent graduates had to say about Communities in Schools.
They've always had my back. They've always done anything to help me.
Communities in Schools is critical to the success of students whose ability to attend school is often jeopardized by hardships.
They've been there for when I've had any questions, any problems personally. Anytime I needed support, they were there.
At Communities in Schools, we not only help kids progress to the next grade, we support them on the path to graduation.
It means a lot to me to graduate. It's just a big accomplishment.
Communities in Schools never gave up on me. They told me I can do it, and I did it.
Communities in Schools proudly serves 1.5 million students every year. Help us give all 11 million at-risk kids the support they need and the same chance for a better future. To learn how you can lend a hand, go to communitiesinschools.org.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station, your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Some of America's bravest warriors are returning home wounded. Here's one of them.
My name is Norberto Lara. I served for 11 years in the United States Army. While I was on a combat patrol in Baqaba, Iraq, a rocket-propelled grenade took my arm off at the shoulder. When I came home, I felt alone. My family was around me, but I couldn't talk to them about what I'd seen and what I'd done. I remember just thinking, man, the way I am right now, I don't want to live. I was discharged from the Army, and I've been working with the Wounded Warrior Project since 2007. You don't have to be severely wounded to be with the Wounded Warrior Project. We do have a lot of guys that have post-traumatic stress disorder. Being able to share your story, I guess it kind of helps you wrap your mind around what did happen over there. Just because you have left the military doesn't mean your life is over, because when these guys are coming home, I'm kind of leading and training them. Instead of for combat, I'm leading and training them to heal. If I come away with anything from Wounded Warrior Project, it's them giving my life back. My name is Norby, and yes, I do suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, but I'm okay.
Don't suffer in silence. Contact woundedwarriorproject.org.
Stephen A. Smith here. If you're like me, you have a mortgage and a family who depends on your income, then you need to protect the ones you love with life insurance. Life insurance can help pay off a mortgage or send the kids to college. It's peace of mind. Think you can afford it? Chances are Select Quote can help you get it for less than $1 a day. Select Quote comparison shops up to 10 highly rated companies, including Prudential, Banner Life, and Mutual of Omaha, and others, to find you the company with the best rates. For example, Select Quote could find a 35-year-old man a $500,000 policy for under $21 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Select Quote's breakthrough technology allows them to quickly match you with the best insurance company to find your best policy. Plus, quotes are free. Start protecting your family today. Call Select Quote at 1-800-601-6992. That's 1-800-601-6992. Or go to selectquote.com/Smith.
Get full details in the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, Sports Call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM, WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Coming up on today's Sports Drive, we're going to get to more why another witch hunt will be happening in baseball. We'll also talk about Conor McGregor and who he would like to fight. Coach O, probably not. Weight classes, people. And the NFL playoffs. All coming up on this Thursday edition.
Has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Across the middle, and it's caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day. Doug Baldwin.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
Boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Baldwin beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest. 992 the Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba. Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome into the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM, simulcast on Blab TV. I am Chad Brillante. Glad to be with you here as always. As we're going to have some fun today, as every single day we always have some fun guests. Yesterday we had legendary Alabama coach Gene Stallings, and joining us, JP, Jeff Price. And JP, I'll tell you, nothing like keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? There's some things keeping it real. But what Coach Stallings did and having the opportunity to save a puppy dog in the middle of a show, there's only very few moments that ever happens.
True American hero. A true American hero. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, with all the stuff going on in Australia, I'm just saying, we talk about animals and everything like that. Coach Stallings staying true. That's a true Southern gentleman right there.
Yeah, it is. You know, like everybody, it's got to be weird walking around, though, because Australian people are like the epitome of, and by the way, don't buy them a Foster's. That's an insult.
They hate that.
First off, same thing. If you're trying to get a date out there, if one of your girlfriends is listening right now, or the girlfriend quote that you have, that, well, I've never seen that guy with anybody, but if you have that person, don't go downtown and buy them the guy that's handing out the $3 roses. Like, good for that guy for trying to make a living, but that's not how you win over someone's heart.
No.
No. Let's not do that. Also, if you're going down the path of being the guy with the guitar, writing poetry, you could be homeless, but you also could be somebody that that's not it either. Just be real. Be yourself. Be fun. That's what I've learned. Somehow I got a hot wife, and I got lucky. I don't know how she got. I mean, I got lucky as heck, so I can't say anything. But I will say that most people, when it comes down to it, and Coach Dave Wilson coming in here as well, we've got we're going to get his take as a former Mississippi State coach, why now the Pirate is in town. We'll have some fun as Coach will join us here talking some Senior Bowl and more. We'll get to more on the Carlos Beltran situation too, because, look, with social media and everything going on, I've talked to so many people, baseball fans out there. You and I both had a chance to play baseball, and it was funny because he actually sat here, and Coach Dave Wilson joining us as well. And let me get the mic. He's like, I've done this 8,000 times. I actually had a coordinator set on this for half my life, but thank you for touching my head right there. Coach, how's it going, by the way?
Hey, good to see you guys.
Always,
always good to be here and visit with everybody in town, talk about what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of great topics out there right now.
Oh, a lot. But some of them, too, though, it's hard to answer a question without the witch hunt starting.
Yeah.
You know, just like why – I make this clear first off, once in a while, subliminal message time, sorry. Still the champions. New England Patriots, still the champions. Okay, so we got that off the Tennessee Titan fan. I have to see him every single day on this. But, Coach, I want to ask this because in a game that you guys know, whether it's done, you're an ethical guy. You're somebody I look up to. I've always said that in the business, and you've been there, done that work with Derek Brooks, whether it was the Storm or Mississippi State, Georgia Tech, all your years. But I will say this. When you look right now at the game itself, when Houston and Boston and all these teams get called out, and then even today Carlos Beltran loses his job before he has a game, you know as a head coach, the one thing in business, if you've never played the sport or never been where you've been, Coach K's been there before, a lot of guys, they cross their arms and go, everybody, it is a billion-dollar organization, the NFL. Same thing with baseball. Every single team, and I can guarantee it, I would put myself in front of it right there on a polygraph in front of anything, risk my life to say every single team is finding a way to try to one-up. Because if they're not, they're going to be losing. It is a game that with technology today, people are trying. Now, while I'm saying this, I also want to make it clear that if you're going through a replay system and you're trying to be sneaky in anything you do, you can be reprimanded. You can be reprimanded, but to me, I know I'm taking the minority out of this, but I will tell you, this is something to me that people, if you've never been there and done that, they're not doing anything that not the other 28 teams that haven't been investigated have done.
Yes.
Maybe not to that extent, but all of them are going to get in some way. And if I'm Boston and Houston right now, I'm on the phone going, guys, every single team needs to be investigated. And now any person that looks like Barry Bonds is going to get a call for being on steroids.
And you know what, Chad, as you look at it, I mean, for years and years, they've been stealing signals somehow.
Yeah.
And everybody's got this, system where they steal it, and then this is the sign that tells you that and all that kind of stuff. And that's not going to quit. I'm sorry. Now, there's more sophisticated ways to do it nowadays, but still, that's why as a coach of your own team, you got to self-scout yourself all the time. What are our tendencies? What do I need to change? Do our signals need to change each week? Are they, how can you really do something to combat it before it happens to you? And so I'm kind of like you. All right, you get caught, get reprimanded, that's fine. But these organizations, even the NCAA, has gotten so big. Well, major college football and basketball has gotten so big that I think the NCAA is a little timid about going after them so hard because they know they can do it without the NCAA.
And I think, and JP, I'm not getting choked up. I actually had it. Like I was going to say, I'm fine, by the way. Derrick Henry, man, I can't believe he did. No, when it comes down to, we're a broad society. Sadly, we're a broad society, and not like chauvinist, like, hey, broad, but a broad society in a standpoint of we just judge everything across the board when it's not fair. We take things like, for instance, I always joke around saying the grandma leaving book club at 75 that had one sip of, maybe she did it because they actually went to church and she took a thing of the wine and got pulled over. She's not the same as the guy swerving like George Jones,
right,
knocking over the crossing guard at 3 p.m. as the kids at an elementary school get off work and this guy is up the sidewalk hitting people. They're both looked at exactly the same by the court of law. They're both DUIs. Like, that is exactly the same. And people go, well, one's one. There is a difference between what these teams were doing. And I always said, if a team went out there and actually, if they had an earpiece, where if they had an earpiece in a walkie-talkie system where like Altuve's sitting there and it's I said 3-2 count. It is a 3-2 count. Guys at first and second with one out, you really need to get that guy into scoring position to get that first run in, over to third at least for a sac fly. And you got an Adam Wainwright or Clayton Kershaw. And usually what they go to is that breaking ball in the dirt.
Right.
But you have these guys, especially with 62%. I know that's actually not a fraudulent stat today. 62% of Major League Baseball is overseas, is international, and these guys swing for the fence. They want to be the man. If you think about Yasiel Puig and Carlos Correa, there are no walks. Think about the guys.
Right.
Think about the guys who walk. It's like Joey Votto from Canada. The very calm. And what do you think of Canadians? Sorry, I know we're going down this path of like international, but very calm. He's just, I'm just going to put the bat on the shoulder. We're good. But when it comes to these guys, they want everything, swinging the bat. They swing at that 3-2 pitch almost 85% of the time. If they knew, 3-2, we just got the sign, code in right now, Yasiel, and they might have to speak Spanish. I'm not doing that. But you do that right there, and they throw that in, and you just see him standing up almost smiling, and that ball breaks in the dirt, and he gets over.
Right.
That flat out is huge. I mean, that to me, you everybody gets fired for that. I mean, but this is they're taking something that everybody in the stands can do. Like when the Bengals, when the Patriots had the sidelines, I mean, that jokester of the videographer who was like, I don't know. I mean, I think we're watching an episode of Roseanne. I'm not 100% sure what's happening here. Like, he made it sound so much worse than it actually was, which was you could take a cell phone and you could do that with the jersey numbers of that. Right. There was no zooming in on a playbook, like right into the numbers. There was no infiltrating into a safe to get that. Everybody, you have been there, done that, and I ask you these guys because we're sports fans. We both played college baseball, but you have been on the sidelines for college, NFL. You've been there. Derek Brooks, you know what it's about, and you know for a fact, Coach, that everybody in the business is trying to get a one-up.
Oh, absolutely. But one of my jobs throughout was to try to break down the signals I was seeing on the sidelines. That was one of my jobs.
That's called good coaching.
I mean, Coach Sherrill said, hey, I want to know when the blitz is coming. I want to know, are they dropping into coverage? What are they doing? So after a while, you're able to pick that up, especially with guys. They try to disguise it a lot more now because they know what's going on. But you can pretty much figure it out when you compare the personnel to what signal you're seeing. And so, that to me is coaching. Now, if I had a headset on that had their headset phone coming into me, no, I need to be fired if that's the case. But when I can do it on the sidelines, seeing what you're putting on the field, seeing what you're calling, put those two together, it's fair game.
Yeah, it's like from all the history, as a Patriot fan, I've got the devil and the devil on my shoulder. So I'm used to this. But what I will say, though, is this is right up my alley. This is up my wheelhouse for about 20 years covering this. But what happens with this is people latch on to stories. The media loves this. I mean, they're going for it. And Carlos Beltran was showing up in New York today. And this is a guy whose legacy, he was one of the most clutch hitters, solid, smooth, switch hitter. You know how hard it is to be a switch hitter in Major League Baseball and be good? I mean, most people can't bat. Michael Jordan's one of the best athletes ever, and he couldn't bat on the side that he's good at. There is so many guys. So to be a switch hitter is incredible. But, JP, when you talk about what we saw from this, I am not here to say this is not the old bitter, everybody should be fine. No, they should be reprimanded in a way. But what is happening here is going to open up the door for what had a lot of people not engaging in baseball. And if Rob Mansford is smart for 2 seconds right now, baseball is losing borderline viewers already because they already thought about steroids, and they lost a lot of that. I'm not going to lie. We all watch more baseball probably when they would interrupt. They'd be like, in the middle of the Australian Open, doubles match. Monica Seles. Ah! And then all of a sudden they'd go over to the next person. They go, and it's time for a Big Mac attack. And he gets up there and he crushes one off that McDonald's sign and everybody freaks out. Like, I was like, all right, let's see that. Like, even though when Sosa, when he looked like Sammy Sosa, and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, that's the time that we engaged the most. Like, that, it really was. I'm speaking on behalf of you guys because I'm right. You know what I'm saying? You guys enjoyed that more than anything. But we also know when they opened up that box that everybody that looks like an Albert Pujols today goes, Aaron Judge, it's got to be on something. Luke Voigt, look at that guy's arms. Like, no matter who you are, you could be all natural, and you're going to be in trouble for it.
Well, the thing is, we talked about this yesterday.
Like, yeah, look at what you're doing. I'm going to zoom in right now. Look at the bicep moves right here. This guy cheated. UWF, do some research. University of Mobile. University of Mobile right here. Look at this.
I couldn't afford it, I promise. No, but the thing is like, if MLB would have taken away the title, that's where I step in and have a big problem. I understand them trying to make a statement here. It may be a little too much, the penalties and everything, but I think it's them trying to nip this in the butt now, get ahead and be like, look, we know what's going on. I think probably the majority of the teams are doing this same thing right now, and there's a lot of people like, burn that, get rid of that. Look, we talked about this. You said, well, they didn't have to fire the people. Well, the team fired them. I know it was a suspension for a year, 2 first-round picks, $5 million, things like that. This is something that the MLB had to do, but at the same time, this is something we're shooting ourselves in the foot if you're the MLB. You're wanting to implement all this other technology. I'm sorry, but what did you think was going to happen? Now, I know it was illegal what he did, but let's remember, back in the good old days, it was just peek in at second base, the runner gives a sign to the hitter, or the runner gives a sign to the third baseman, things like that. It's not that way anymore because we have so much technology in the game. Think about this. This is just me thinking corruptly. How many people do you think are on the inside?
You're into my brain now.
I know.
I like this.
This is the Patriot way.
Yeah, this is it.
How many people do you think are on the inside doing things they shouldn't be doing, like this instance here? Cora knew he was in the wrong. That's why he was like, you know what, I'm out. You don't even have to tell me. I'm
Coach,
gone.
we were saying yesterday, it's like the mafia movie, like Goodfellas, where you know you're next, and the guy's in like there, and the music's in the back, and he's like, and they're like, yeah. So Cora knew before he even got there. He's like, I'm out. We all looked at that, and we're like, oh, he's out? Oh, Boston. And Cora, like the next minute, they're like, breaking news, Alex Cora has resigned.
Yeah.
Like he's out. But you know what? It's about public demand. What you said about the owners, if these guys were all smoking cigars in the 70s and there was no social media, those guys would all be coaches. The difference would be, first off, they'd all be billionaires because they have a lot of technology to do that in the 70s. But when it comes down to, there's so much public scrutiny. If they would have kept them on board, because the message pages have berated it. I almost personally, and I've got my own opinion because we played baseball. I worked for a little while at the MLB Network. Baseball is the one sport, and we don't talk a lot. We're opening the show about it because football season is, fading over, and we're going to get to a lot of the Senior Bowl talk. I'm excited about that. But I do want to say, when it comes to baseball, that's my expertise. Like, I know baseball. I was an MLB analyst. I know baseball better than any other sport. And I will tell you that as a pitcher, I didn't know where the heck the ball was going. I actually would be the guy, like in poker, I would like to think that you knew what I was having because I'd reverse it on you. I'd be like, you know what? One, that's a fastball. It's a fastball, everybody, fastball. And then throw this ridiculous, what the heck is that? It's not even a slurve. Like, you can do that to teams. And it is, to be able to see that is something that the biggest problem with this is they didn't register it. They were being sneaky. It's like anything with your dad. Look, when you're 18 years old, 21 for purposes of the show, let's just be honest. But if you have a beer with Pops on a boat, Pops is fine. Yeah. You're doing something illegal by the law, but Pops is fine at 18 or 12. I had a good time. But sorry. But when it comes down to, just kidding. But when you look right now at the court of law, if you had 2 cops on there and they were sitting in the middle of the boat, in the middle of the Gulf, and they were sitting there like those ones that infiltrated the LSU locker room, which was ridiculous in New Orleans. If you have that, and all of a sudden, you would be a little weary to open up that Coors. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had 2 guys sitting, if you have the Coast Guard on the boat, which they do all the time, checks out there. Look, my family, born to run, #1 fishing boat in the Gulf. They've won every tournament. They won the Emerald Coast. And I'm out there, and we got stopped randomly in the Coast Guard just because it's a big boat, and they had nothing better to do. Good people. But they'll do a full search. And if you have a 13-year-old kid and First off, you need to look at yourself as a dad. But at the same time, if you had an 18-year-old and you do that, that's probably not the right time. And what I mean is teams now today, because of all this, they're more sneaky about it because they know everybody's looking for it. But everybody in a way is doing it. And when I say that, not all 30 teams are maybe doing it, but everybody to a point is doing what they're doing. And the reason Houston and Boston won is not because they knew the signs and then they called it in and said, hey, this guy throws fastballs against this guy. That's all they were doing. They weren't actually calling into the play.
Every individual pitch.
People need to know
that.
that.
I don't think you can do that anyway.
No, you can't do that. I mean,
because what you got?
Belichick says there are ways.
You got 1 second to make a decision or something,
Yeah.
On those kind of things. And the other thing about it, I don't want to see a bunch of robots playing baseball and robotic umpires.
Nope.
I don't want to see that. I want to see
either.
people doing it,
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but we're all flawed. And we have some kind of flaws, and some are better than others. So, hey, I want to see games. I want to see competition. I want to see what happens.
Coach, we're going to get into a lot of the other stories. That's my rant of the day. I start off the show sometimes. I get the first off.
I thought it was good
listen,
too.
thank you.
Yes,
it's some days bad day in Davis Highway traffic. I just come in here with a rant going on, and that was my rant today. Guy cut me off, and I walked up. It was a pickup truck. I'm like, are you kidding me? Get up there. It's like an 80-year-old grandma. I said, welcome to the South right there. She said, bless your heart. And I was like, that's so sweet. And then my wife texted me, that's not a nice thing. We're coming back for more. Bless all your hearts if you think that baseball is worse because these guys are just horrible cheaters. Bless your heart. Coming back for more right here. Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, Blab TV.
Welcome to Bow! Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something to scream something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. Snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Moe's Southwest Grill, now open in Pace on Highway 90 next to Publix grocery store.
Just felt there's a huge need in Pensacola to bring foot and ankle services, specifically orthopedic foot and ankle services, to this area. There's so much growth in Pensacola. I wanted a freestanding orthopedic foot and ankle center to do this, and as far as I can tell, this is the only one really in the country that's freestanding. Most orthopedic surgeons are part of a multi-specialty group. So we offer on-site x-rays, on-site CT scan, and on-site MRI. They can come to one place.
Visit NielsenOrthopedics.com to reserve your appointment today.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement where extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Piece of cake. Behind the lasagna, it's very old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
It's a new year and time for a new car. Bob Tyler brings you the most dependable line of cars at the best Bob Tyler Toyota prices. Drive the new 2020 Toyota Camry LE for just $239 a month, or new 2020 Corolla LE only $118. If a new year, new car is for you, get to Bob Tyler Toyota right now, where caring means quality at our best price. With approved credit, 12,000-mile, 36-month leases, $32.99 down for Camry, $29.99 down for Corolla. Excludes tax, tag, registration, and title, 0 security deposit. All prices include $899.50 dealer fee. See dealer for details. Expires 1/31/20.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield, and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh, that's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Bama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron. He's nothing but a lame-headed old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cow turd.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Simulcast on Blab TV. Coach, you've been in the studio many a times, but if I'm not cross-eyed, I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I didn't know if I
two
had
guys
some
in
on
front
my
of me right here.
shoulder
I'm
or whatever. I didn't know. Okay.
We had one of the we got 4 cameras. We're always watching. That's what we do. That's what we say. That was my yearbook quote. I'm always watching you. I got arrested for that actually. But no, if you look right now at all the different cameras we have, it's funny because one of the guys down here, engineer one time, was, let's just say it was still light out, but there was a half moon going on.
Okay.
It was clearly on.
Gotcha. Yes.
So we're moving on from that. So let's get into I want to talk Mississippi State real quick because that's your team.
Sure.
And we'll get into more as Coach Dave Wilson joins us alongside JP. And Coach doing a great job. Flag football, you guys did an awesome job as well. How was the season, by the way?
Oh, it was excellent. We had 3 seasons this past fall. Finished up 1 in December. It's an overwhelming success right now. Plus, it's so much so that I'm going to do one this spring, starting in April on Sunday afternoons at 3 o'clock out at UWF, the National Championship practice field out there, and a lot of response for that already. So, and then we'll come back next August, and here we'll go again.
For somebody that ate buffalo wings and fries today, I'm saying this not judging, but anything you can do to get kids out behind video games and get them to do something active. Because the same thing, whether it's flag football or it's tackle football, the exercise level is the same.
No doubt. And I compliment the kids every time that we meet. At the end, I say, listen, I'm so proud of y'all. You could have been at home, sitting on the couch, sitting in your beanbag chair, playing a video game, and not doing anything. And I said, here you came out, you're competing, you learned how teamwork happens, how to be coachable, all those type things. And not that they're going to go to the NFL, not that they're going to be pros and all this stuff, but that one day they're going to be a dad, they're going to be a father, a husband, all of those type things, responsibility, the job you got, and taking care of your family. So I'm a firm believer that team sports definitely helps directly
Oh, for
with
sure.
that.
My best friends growing up, and JP's been out with me before, a whole nacho platter, and they make me feel bad, but they're like, this is a serving for 4, and I'm like, I'm going to eat this by myself here. But I'm glad that if it wasn't for sports, I'd weigh 700 pounds. I really would. I mean, honestly, I think 100% I would believe that right now. But every day, we would run and run and run, and it was one of those kind of things where you look back and probably 7-8 miles a day, and I never thought of it because of that. But when you stop doing it, and those 7 times 5, 35 miles you run ends up being none, it adds up real quick.
Sure.
And those kids getting out and doing some exercise is a really awesome thing, and getting a chance to work with professionals like yourself. I do want to say, though, 2 things. You coach at Georgia Tech and Mississippi State.
Right.
First off, Jeff Collins, why does he look like somebody that's working at SeaWorld right now with that outfit? I do want to ask that. I mean, am I the only one seeing that on the sidelines?
No.
I didn't mean to.
Jeff has taken some leeway in the attire and in the uniforms. I'm surprised.
He's doing
to
a wetsuit right now with Shamu. I don't know what's going on with that.
Because the old Georgia Tech people, buddy, it's got to be old gold and white, and I mean that's about it. That's about all they want. And so he's taking a little liberty there, and I wish him all the best. He was at Georgia Tech.
He's a good coach.
When I first came there, and then I came from Mississippi State. He went to Mississippi State. So, just wish him a lot of luck. He's a good coach.
A couple weeks ago, you got a chance to talk to Coach Gene Stallings with us when we were in here, and I remember Coach talked to us yesterday. He also saved a dog on air. It was pretty cool. He's like, Chad, I'm in the middle. We got a dog following my car right now. Can I call you back? And he literally did that on air yesterday. It was awesome. I was like, this is way more important to save that puppy dog's life than to talk,
Oh, sure.
shoot the Joe Burrow comments with us. But I do want to say, Mississippi State. That was one of your teams, close to your heart as always, being a coach there. Mike Leach, the Pirate himself, is definitely not what you think of in SEC football. He's innovative, but also it can go south real quick if it's not going well, because the SEC, the first thing I think is bigger, stronger, faster.
Sure.
Whether they're winning or not, I mean, there's teams that can win with speed, but bigger, stronger, faster is what I think of. And to me, the teams he's coached, it's more about innovative schemes instead of that. So, and you're going up against LSU. Thank God no Joe Burrow. But LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M, Auburn, and then you also have Florida and Georgia and all the teams up there. Ole Miss has just got Lane Kiffin. What did you think of the hire, by the way?
One, I thought that I'm thinking right now that the state of Mississippi better strap their hat on, because you got two guys in there right now.
It's a Wild Wild West out there in the SEC.
Oh, it is now. And, Lane, I've got mixed emotions about Lane. Let's just say I think Dad.
Everybody does.
I like Dad better than the son.
I almost said even his wife.
But Ole Miss.
Sorry. Continue.
Ole Miss thought they had one-upped Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And now here comes Mississippi State and does this, by bringing Mike Leach in. So they just one-up them again. So, yeah, I think it's going to be – but Leach has to buy into having a defense. Not just be a guy that sits there and say, give me the ball back as soon as you can. Give me the ball back. Give me the ball back. Give me the ball back. No, that doesn't work in the SEC.
You coached in Atlanta, but Atlanta's not a college football first city.
No.
However, Georgia Tech, you were able to – and for the folks that don't know, Coach Dave Wilson got Calvin Johnson to come to Georgia Tech. So I want to make that clear. One of the best, probably the top 5 most talented, maybe top 2 most talented receivers of all time. You got him to come to Georgia Tech, which we always laugh. How the heck can you do that with the option? And is it just me watching, by the way, with no option anymore? Is sort of like, it's depressing. It's like a Sarah McLachlan commercial. Oh gosh, it's hard watching Georgia Tech without the option.
It is, and especially now that that Jeff doesn't have the lineman he needs right yet.
Yeah,
he's got those guys that gnaw at your knees right now. They're always cutting guys' knees and all that kind of stuff, and now he's got to transform.
Their quote, like Louisiana Tech, though, is, "Hey, we beat Miami."
There you go.
Sorry, Miami. When you don't put up a point in the bowl game and waste my time.
True.
But you look right now at Mississippi State. I think. Do you see over under 6 wins this year? Are they going to finish bowl game for Mike Leach?
It's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard right now.
Jump on into this comment.
Yeah,
I mean, they have a
very
favorable schedule. They play some of the bottom tier in the SEC for conference-wise when you talk about the East and everything. Look, all I'm going to say is I think they can get 6, but I agree with you. He is going to have to get a defense. And that's where it gets interesting at this point. Offensively, I don't think you really question too much about it. It's going to be interesting to see that air raid like it is. But I just don't know if he can get a defense.
More importantly, will he get the grades up in history class?
Well,
yes, he will.
That's something he'll talk with Coach Sherrill. I'm sure Coach Sherrill will visit him and he can tell him exactly
castrate
how
a bowl,
that goes.
To teach history class. It's all the same.
Here's the thing. When I first went there, Coach Bowden told me I was leaving Florida State to go. Coach Bowden told me, he said, Dave, go win the state of Mississippi in recruiting, because per capita there are more players from the state of Mississippi in the NFL than any other state in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you're losing them to LSU. You're losing them to Alabama. You're losing them to Auburn. Keep them in state. And so they're great players in the state of Mississippi and enough to go around, especially to Ole Miss and to Mississippi State. But, yes, he's got to buy into the fact that, hey, I've got to have a defense. He can have one, and if he buys in there, it's possible. But we'll see. Right now, I think Mike Leach is probably a real good player coach, that old quote player coach kind of guy. Now, what defensive coordinator wants to go in there when, all he's saying is give me the ball back, give me the ball back, give me the ball back. Let them score quick if you're going to.
Their schedule is they start out with New Mexico, then they play NC State. They got Arkansas, Tulane, then they get into Texas A&M, Alabama, LSU, Auburn, 4 weeks in a row. Then Kentucky, Alabama A&M, and then the Egg Bowl at Ole Miss.
But honestly, from hearing that schedule, that's exactly what Mike Leach needs, is to start off the season almost 4-0. Honestly,
sure.
when you're a brand new coach, the worst thing is when you have one of those. If you're a new coach and your first game's a neutral site game against like Clemson, or I mean, you're pretty much. I mean, that's happened to teams, and you're like, and then you get beat by 60, and all the fans are like, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think about it. Even with Willie Taggart,
Are you saying New Mexico doesn't have a chance?
Bob Davies is Bob Davies still there?
I don't think so.
I think he's gone.
Well,
they have a shot then. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding, Bob. I'm sorry. Bob's a nice guy, but he as a coach. All right, so moving on here to some of the other stuff going on here. Coach, talk about it. The Senior Bowl, such a great event, and Jim Nagy, to watch him, what he's done, very innovative mind, and somebody that knows a lot. But you're living and breathing it down there at Blue Wahoo Stadium. I was there last year, and you had a lot of good players that we're watching now on Sunday.
Absolutely.
And this is an all-star game that people don't understand. People have made their living off of this event. I want to make that clear because we covered it for a while at the old ESPN.
Right. Yeah.
Paul Chestnut does a great job with it. And when we were over there, Fred Robbins, Charlie Ward, when we were all over covering it, you've been involved directly with it right now with Quint and everybody at Blue Wahoo Stadium. I look though and I say, when I remember watching guys like DJ Reader. Who was coming through, and best interview I've ever had in my life. His mama goes, don't take any credit. If you didn't eat, you weighed 215 before I did those triple mac and cheese. And he's like, yes, mama. And the best part of it is you have mama and son relationship interviews. And these guys, though, Carson Wentz, nobody really knew him from North Dakota State. Dak Prescott went way up when he won the MVP.
Absolutely.
All these guys, so your quarterbacks out there, Philadelphia, Dallas, all these guys pretty much got their opportunity. Aaron Donald.
Right.
Aaron Donald was a guy that was looked at as a borderline fringe first round at the best, and now he's the best defensive tackle in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way that the Senior Bowl gives you an opportunity to be something. And now Jalen Hurts, that's a huge pull to get him back.
Pull. You got him, and you got Herbert coming in as well. All right, that's two quality guys coming in.
He's
right
a Duck
there,
fan. That's why it's basketball.
And I got to tell you, that's the thing that Jim Nagy really can sell. I mean, he's been scouting guys for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so he really knows what he's looking at. He's got close relationships with all the teams and throughout the league. And when they send him a suggestion, then he wants to take a look at it and see. That was one reason last year they took the kid from Buffalo. All the guys wanted to see him. So it was a mistake on his part, but, that's the reason that he brought him in. So Jim does a great job with this, and the Senior Bowl all week long, the things they do and what they do for Mobile and the whole area. That's the thing about it. This is a regional event. It's the last time it's going to be played in the last stadium, before they move into a new stadium over there on USA campus. And so I think it's going to be pretty special. The question I always get is Burrow going to go? And my answer is, why does he need to?
I would agree with that, yeah.
He's been beat up. He's played a lot more games than all these other guys and all that kind of stuff. I think he's proven himself.
Yeah.
So Hurts and Herbert and whoever else they get to come along in there and fill out the roster, I think is real good.
Yeah. And why would any LSU player want to go? Because they're all getting paid by Odell.
Well, the quarterbacks, I mean, they have Shea Patterson out of Michigan, Steven Montez from Colorado. You look at Anthony Gordon, threw over 5,000 yards at Washington State. Jordan Love, that's a guy. And Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
Herbert and Jordan Love, this is huge for them. Jalen, yes, because people are questioning, can he play quarterback? But Herbert can up his draft stock with Jordan Love. Jordan Love is that guy from Utah State,
right? Where
it's not fair to him necessarily, but that game against LSU, they were like, all right, let's find out how good he is. Well, you got nobody around you.
Who's around you, exactly.
Like, they got demolished, but what did you expect? You look at what LSU did to everybody else.
I'm intrigued to see Jordan Love just because I've seen mock drafts have him as high as top 10, and the thing is, I watched Kent State game, and if you're losing to Kent State and you're that good, I always joke, I said, and Texas Tech, I have respect for some of the coaches on that staff, but whoever had Patrick Mahomes and went 6-6, I'm really questioning. You know what I'm saying? After watching those, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't make a bad throw. How could you watch that guy and be like, yeah, we're going to be a 500 club in a no defense Big 12 with this guy. Like, I'm wondering who didn't get to him.
Isn't that the guy that's coaching the Cardinals?
No, but I don't know if Klingsman. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure this out right now. Were they that bad of a football team? Because he doesn't make any. If you take him off Kansas City right now and you put another an okay kind of person like Matt Moore, we were applauding Matt Moore when they were close to teams. They almost beat Green Bay. Remember when good valid effort, Matt. That's where they would be. It'd be a valid effort, 5-11 team. He's that good of a player.
Well, last year's game elevated elevated Daniel Jones to a first-round pick.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
You know, and he's a quality quarterback. I saw that over there. I was really, somebody was asking me about the playoffs and stuff, and I said, who do you like? I said, I really like Garoppolo. I saw him in the East-West Shrine game, and that's a pity that he had to play in the East-West Shrine game.
Yes, Eastern Illinois.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, because this guy, to me, he really learned his craft, and he learned it from Tom Brady, and he's taken that experience with him, and you really see that happening right now. So some of these guys, the Loves and those kind of guys, need to come in and really show what they can do. And, hey, I tell you, it's going to be a really good week.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to more on the events coming up right there at Blue Wahoo Stadium. Also, we'll talk some more about what's going on in the NFL for the playoffs. Coach Dave Wilson, kind enough to make time for us today. Check him out, Studer55, doing so much with the community, working directly with Derek Brooks and so many great people like Quinn Studer and folks that, since I've been here 8 years in this market, 7 good years that I remember, but I remember just every single day what they've done to build not only strong towns being number one in the nation. We're not just the town. We're the biggest and fastest growing city in America, and it's pretty awesome. And St. Augustine, we're also the oldest. Coming back for more right here. It's the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV.
Some of America's bravest warriors are returning home wounded. Here's one of them.
My name is Norberto Lara. While I was on a combat patrol, a rocket-propelled grenade took my arm off at the shoulder. I was discharged from the Army, and I've been working with the Wounded Warrior Project since 2007. You don't have to be severely wounded. A lot of guys have post-traumatic stress disorder. Being able to share your story kind of helps you wrap your mind around what did happen over there. My name is Norby, and yes, I do suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, but I'm okay.
Don't suffer in silence. Contact WoundedWarriorProject.org.
Are you an aging man who could use a boost in testosterone? Men listening to this station are invited to call now and get a free 30-day supply of Ageless Male Max, the total testosterone boosting wonder pill. No strings attached, no memberships, and no auto shipments. Just pay shipping and handling. Hurry for this exclusive radio offer. Just call 1-800-467-5150. Men take Ageless Male Max to gain strength and muscle and reduce body fat percentage more than exercise alone. Plus, you get a rapid boost in nitric oxide production, which can be handy in the gym and in the bedroom. Ageless Male is the #1 brand in male enhancement at Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free offer, you must call now. Just call 1-800-467-5150. Your no-strings-attached free 30-day supply is yours right now. 1-800-467-5150. 1-800-467-5150.
What if people had a battery level icon? Like on your phone? You'd see a lot of us in need of a recharge. Thank goodness there's 5-Hour Energy. Because just one sugar-free, vitamin-packed 5-Hour Energy shot can get you all the way back to 100% fast. And isn't life better at 100%? 5-Hour Energy. Get back to 100%. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Hear ye, hear ye. I bringeth thee a message from... a message from the king and his new trumpeter, Stephen. The king wishes me to convey his favor to thine team and thine tailgate. Not yet. He invites thee to let the Bud Light flow forth. And he also wishes me to tell thee that he toasts thee. Waiteth until the end, Stephen! With game day's favorite light lager and the slogan of his kingdom... Oh, dilly dilly. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back to the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM, simulcast on Blab TV. Chad Brillante alongside JP and Coach Dave Wilson, kind enough to make time for us. Studer 55, you can also check out coming up here. Coach, the dates coming out, if anyone, because honestly, if you're listening out there and you got young kids or just yourself, if you're a fan, I remember sitting there on the field last year, Foster Moreau talked to some of the guys there from LSU and getting to sit there and listen to everybody and you guys talking about the game, and it was awesome. It was really cool. Those are the things as football fans that we look at. You know, there's always a mutual respect. We sit there in front of the couch and spend a lot of time sometimes getting yelled at if you're married and things like that. Not she wouldn't yell at me, but I'm just saying, like, I know in my heart I probably should spend less time watching that NBA game and being a better person. I'm sorry. I'm getting that off the table. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But when it comes down to watching down at Blue Wahoo Stadium, you guys you had about 15 people down there that are your future NFL stars, and they're all sitting there talking to the kids in their jersey. Yeah, that was cool. It was cool for me. And
you can see why these guys are successful. Yeah, and you see why Jim Nagy selects these guys is because they have that character base. They have their branding in mind. Their branding is in mind right now of what am I going to be? How am I going to represent? What am I going to do? And so, you know, January 24th, that Friday morning, we're going to open the gates of Wahoo Stadium. I'll be coordinating all of the kids' activities, so we'll send the kids straight to the field. We'll have pat and go going on and throwing balls and catching and all that good stuff.
One more time, the date on that?
January 24th. That's
January
Friday.
24th, yep.
Yeah, Friday, January 24th, 9 a.m. We'll open up the gates. I think the players will probably arrive probably about 9:45. Players will arrive. We'll have the kids divided up into appropriate age groups, and they'll come in and start putting them through some paces, you know, some fundamental things, some change of direction, teaching them a little technique on offensive, defensive
Teaching
line.
your 4-year-old targeting. I'm just not having it right there.
And then a lot of fun. These guys really enjoy being around kids, because kids will listen to you. When they see you as some type of I'm sorry, but you're some type of a model guy that they're after, you know, and so they listen very intently to what's going on. So, you know, last year we had right under 100 kids. Right now, I know that I've heard from almost about 100, 125 kids, and so we're excited that it'll happen on the field, and then they'll move up to the tables they've got set up and sign autographs, and they have cards and all that kind of stuff to pass out.
And if I can give any advice, most of the advice I give you, kids like earmuffs, kids. But if I can give you advice right now, take advantage of these moments. I think JP would say the same thing as sports fans and people around the game. Take advantage of these moments. Coach, you probably remember going down memory lane when you were a kid at those moments. We all remember the moment when somebody stood out of a crowd as a hero. Our heroes that we spend money on their trading cards because we love them as players, and they took time out of their day to do something for you. And it's usually the random stories that happen that way.
Yeah.
Darryl Armstrong, remember the old point guard for the Magic, DA? Darryl Armstrong, who was a journeyman, he played overseas and did all this. He came over and was a catalyst. I did a basketball camp with him, and he ended up going back to a house in Orlando that we were friends of the family. And he ended up, during the thing, he said, man, I got to get out of this house. I want to shoot some hoops. And I said, you want to play me in horse? And I was 13 years old. We went out there, and I had HORS, and he started to laugh. He goes, you think you're going to get E on me, don't you? And all of a sudden, I remember that day, he came back, and just every shot was gold.
It was bomb,
and I was like, you do spell horse with 2 E's, right? And he's like, get out of here. You lost it. But I remember that moment like it was yesterday, and that was 21 years ago. Nobody else cares about Darryl Armstrong and me playing horse.
Right.
But to me, that moment right there, if I saw him again, like, you changed. I was smiling for weeks at school because of the opportunity you gave me. And for these kids, these are going to be your NFL stars, Hall of Fame guys. Right. The people that are at this game, like I said, Aaron Donalds and people like that, these are celebrities. These are the best. Aaron Donald's ranked as the #1 defense player in the entire NFL right now, and he made his whole stardom at the Senior Bowl, and we got to interview him. I remember sitting there interviewing, and these guys are something special. So the kids, take advantage of this opportunity and don't look back. Please come out right there on Friday, Yeah. January 24th, you can celebrate. If you want to get me a birthday gift, that's fine too. I'm just saying it's up to you. Now, obviously, you're not going to be there for that, but it is my. But Friday, 9 a.m., January 24th, come on out, and should be a lot of fun.
We'd love to have you, so make sure you come. Now, I'm not going to one-up you right here.
No.
But as a 5-year-old, my grandfather and grandmother used to take me to what was called the Atlanta Crackers. They were a minor league team for the Milwaukee Braves. Played at Ponce de Leon Stadium right in downtown Atlanta. And a guy by the name of Bob Montag. I caught a foul ball. Somebody took it away from me at 5. Bob Montag came over and gave me a ball. And I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
And so, you're right. And to spend time with these folks will really be beneficial for you.
And, Coach, you're always around the stadium at Wahoo Stadium as well. But even the Wahoo players that, think about the Didi Gregoriuses, Tony Cingrani's guys, even this year, Luis Arias, some of those guys that got a call up. Look, Randy Dominic was getting Uber yelled at him as he was pitching in a chance right there in the playoffs against New York, Yankee Stadium, and this guy was just trying to get by.
Yeah.
His family was out there with these cardboard signs, and he's pitching one of the pivotal games for the Twins. And I remember sitting with that guy when he moved up when they first got here, and they were all sitting over at Seville, and a lot of them were fish out of water. They just got here. They wouldn't know, and I started making some jokes, and they started laughing and having fun. But these guys are all pros, and to get Jesse Winkers, you watch so many throughout the years get that shot. These guys, when they hand you a baseball, that might be the next guy that's in your all-star game, because a lot of them are. And, JP, I know you have that same story with O.J. Simpson. You were gonna, I'm not
going to take a stab at that one.
Good one.
No, but Fred Smoot.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Oh, yeah. I love him.
I had to look up what year it was. I knew I was younger, but I think it was like 10 years old. Anyway, Fred Smoot was they're sitting there signing autographs, whatever, and I was not like I am now, like I'll go up and talk to anybody, but I was just like this, kid just kind of standing back, like I'll wait my turn. People are like skipping me, whatever. Well, then it was done, and I was like, oh, okay. So I just kind of was like upset, and I watched him like go around the crowd. He said, "Oh, come here." He brought me up there, signed my jersey, all this other stuff. Anyway, and he was like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" I was like, "Huh? What do you mean you want a picture with me?" He was like, "Yeah, I want to get a picture with you." I was like, okay. Got a picture, whatever, and I just thought that was awesome. And that's something I'll always remember. And then see him go into the NFL and think he was an All-American at Mississippi State.
Oh, he was tremendous.
Awesome player. But that right there meant the world to me because that was my first opportunity. These guys are human beings just like us.
Right. Everybody listening to this station right now is sports fans. Or not even sports fans, remember a moment like that.
You got some experience.
Everything. I mean, those are always those moments. And you remember the bad. I mean, Larry Bird was a legend being from Boston. But we sat there, and I'll call him out. I don't mind. But we were all in front. Larry's like, how dare this guy? Pensacola, where is he right? But so Larry, French Lick, Indiana, the legend of Boston. I mean, he's billboards everywhere. We're sitting there, and it's open to just the media, and it's open to the players at the Orlando Magic Spring League. They before Thomas and Mack in Vegas took over, they did all the spring games there. And I remember when Eric Spoelstra, before he was winning titles with him, literally was holding the clipboard and a bag like the guy who's like delivering newspapers for Pat Riley. Pat, what do you want for lunch? Like because they felt it was safe zone. It was only media and the players.
Right,
so a lot of these guys, they're more themselves when there's no people like, I need your autograph, Pat. I loved you in the '60s. Like, they feel more comfortable saying. So Eric Spoelstra was the paper boy pretty much for Miami. And then the next couple of years, LeBron comes in. He's like, I want that guy to run the show. But he doesn't really say much. He goes, that guy, yeah. so and now he's still the coach. He's doing a pretty good job with actually a decent. He's overachieving more than anybody really in Miami right now. But I will say, to the point of this, Larry looked over and I said, Mr. Bird, I was 19. I said, Mr. Bird, I've always been a huge fan, and thank you for everything you do. And he looked over and he was just like, and he like sort of nodded and then looked away. And I was like, those teams, McHale, and then he turned and walked away like I was still, that second comment was ignoring. And I was like, there was nobody else. I made sure to do it during a quarter break. He wasn't working with his friend with the X's and O's. I know the game. It just, to that point on, that moment of watching him for almost 20 years went right out the window, and he ruined everything for me in that moment. And everybody that knows Larry Bird knows he's not the nicest guy. and that mustache need to go too.
Hey,
you got a cool mustache. He does not.
It's all right.
He does not. When we come back, if I wore a mustache, I'd look like the car dealer from True Lies. So when we come back, we'll get to more on what's going on. That's a fact.
You're onto something there.
That's it. Hey, look, coming back for more. We'll get to more with Coach Dave Wilson. Check him out right there on January 24th, 9 a.m. at Blue Wahoo Stadium. It's going to be an awesome event. We'll come back for another segment to talk the big games in the NFL playoffs and more right here on the Sports Drive.
Imogen and I started Jewelers Trade Shop in 1956.
Our goal at Jewelers Trade Shop has always been to give our customers the best experience imaginable. It's something that my grandfather instilled in my father, and without a doubt, my father has passed on to me. Those basic core goals and values that shaped our business 56 years ago are still very much alive and a driving force behind Jewelers Trade Shop today.
For 3 generations, the story continues. Jewelers Trade Shop in downtown Pensacola.
The new year is here, and I found the perfect way to shake up our shopping routine. It's Walmart's grocery pickup and delivery.
Oh, yeah?
We get the same prices as in-store, but at Walmart, they do the shopping for you.
So it's like a shopping shortcut.
A very grocery mother who just shops her grocery list so hard.
A secret sauce that makes running errands a cakewalk.
A life hack that hacks your life to get more life out of life.
Nice.
Use code WOWFRESH and get $10 off your first grocery pickup or delivery today. Walmart. Save money, live better. Delivery fee applies. Delivery available in select markets. First order only $50 minimum. Expires March 31st, 2020. Restrictions apply.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use ClosetBox instead? ClosetBox is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. ClosetBox's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. ClosetBox's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. ClosetBox has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code RADIO50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so badly, he ended up in the emergency room and spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy about telling people not to smoke around your kids.
Half of U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
Football season never ends on Talk Football with Coach K.
Stidham is tearing it up at New England. He may well be the incumbent to Tom Brady there.
Former head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Coach K brings his expertise as he breaks down the game, the players, the coaches, and the front office. Plus, high-profile interviews from the biggest names in football. Talk Football with Coach K every weekday from noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1.
Coming up on Sports Call this Saturday, we'll be recapping the national championship game, Titans and Chiefs, Packers and 49ers. Plus, we sit down with new ESPN host Jason Fitz. It's happening this Saturday on Sports Call with Davis and Justin on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Sports Call with Davis and Justin.
The Birmingham Bowl, honestly, I would not be too thrilled if I had received these gifts. You get a book, History of the Bowls, celebrating the good of the game, and you get a bucket hat. That's just not a good. That is not a great
I feel bad for
gift
Marshall.
set.
They only get a gift suite. That's all they get.
Dude, step up your game when it comes to your gift packages.
Every Saturday from 11 to 1 on Pensacola's home for sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Chad Brilliante alongside Coach Dave Wilson, Steeler 55, doing so much with the whole entire Studer group as well, Derek Brooks, and working with the Blue Wahoos, flag football. Really, there's not much this guy doesn't do for the community right there. And, this is a side note. This is just personal stuff, but one heck of a karaoke singer as well. I'm just saying. Hey, listen. I thought I was a good karaoke.
Come real late.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I thought I was okay at karaoke, but then I realized in the morning that was not me talking as much as...
You did tell me the story about that. You walked in there and you were like, what?
Yeah, I was telling the story that time. I'm like, wait, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like,
different reason than why you're
wait, where am I? No, I'm not in bed. But looking at the situation right now with what's going on down at Blue Wahoo Stadium, I thought it was a great year with Minnesota this year.
Yeah,
really did.
Yeah, and I think they really did too. And they realized here we didn't play any of our flag league down there this year just because they wanted to take it back to baseball so quickly and to really get the field in good shape. I mean, they went through pump problems and surface problems and that kind of stuff. And so, UWF, I love playing out there, on their turf field, so we did that.
Well, and talk about that, because what as a head coach, it is very hard to recruit in college. You got to recruit Calvin Johnson, some huge names. I mean, maybe the biggest name right there. But when it comes down to looking at what UWF and Pete Shinnick has done, I know we're about to go to break, but it's insanity to win a title in 4 years.
No doubt. I can't believe that his phone is not ringing off the hook, because to do what he's done in 4 years is amazing.
No offense to everybody that's worked a long time, but you give me Pete Shinnick and Joe Brady, and then I'll just form whatever I want and beat you. I'll sit back and smile after that. Guys, we're coming back. It's one more hour to go right here on the Sports Drive.
This is ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brilliante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, sports call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Coming up on the Sports Drive, we're going to get to more on some NFL playoffs. We'll talk some Senior Bowl and some big events coming up here. So much going on. Once the season ends, a lot to do with the kids, from Blue Wahoos to Senior Bowl to Josh Sitton camps and more. Coach Dave Wilson joining us in studio.
Has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Across the middle, it is caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day. Doug Baldwin.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
Boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Ball's been beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest. 992 the Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba. Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trick Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Having some fun with you, Chad Brilliante, alongside JP and Coach Dave Wilson. Yeah, doing a great job pretty much in everything. I start to read everything you do. And at this point, and I don't like reading books. I do pop-ups, so I'm just going to say Mr. Football in a lot of ways down here and what he does. But, Coach, you do have a big camp, and with Under Armour, now with coming up here on January 24th, you've got the event 9 a.m. at Blue Wahoo Stadium. Getting to meet the Senior Bowl players will be down here in Pensacola. Awesome opportunity for kids and parents, anybody, to come out there and support this. It's going to be awesome. It was I felt like a kid in the candy store last year. Maybe a Bubba Sweet Spot candy. But when it came down to what you guys have going on with Josh Sitton, big camps coming up here. And Josh, not just because he's a UCF brethren or went to school with my wife right there in Brittany, who he likes a lot better than me. It's funny. I met him randomly. I knew Josh. I was like, we met him at Gallery Night one time. And I'm like, hey, Josh. And then Brittany's like, hey, Josh. I'm like, wait, how do you know? Yeah. Oh, we went to school at Catholic together. And I was like, all right, I'll back up on this one. Like, he'd much rather see you than me anyway right here. But I used to sit in class when he wore the Guy Harvey mediums, and he had the buzz cut. Right. And I was like, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's our star lineman, and I'm 1/3 his size. But Josh is a great guy, and he's done so much with Catholic. He's really one of those kind of guys that I can see writings on the wall, just like so many people in our community, like Derek Brooks, that is going to give back so much, and he already is. And I'm so glad that he's back in Pensacola doing that.
Absolutely.
And not for the Dolphins either.
You're right. I mean, when he retired a Packer. Yeah, so
that's way better than Dolphins,
the thing to do. But Josh, he's been running this camp for the last 6 years over at Catholic High School. It's a free camp for kids, 1st grade through 8th grade. And last year when I went to work for Studer, the Studer Group, and that kind of stuff, we said, why are we letting New York City company come in here and do a Josh Sitton camp? It's costing a ton of money. I said, it won't take that. And so Josh let me run it last year. We had 300 kids out there. Buffalo Rock was a huge part of it as well. Ricky Linton out there helped us out tremendously. And Matt Adams as well. And he's a great guy. But this year what we have done, we're taking the Josh Sitton camp, and you can find it on Facebook under Josh Sitton All-Pro Youth Camp. And through this thing this year, we're moving it to April the 18th, Saturday, April 18th, which happens to be 2 days prior to April 20th, 2020, when we will finally have the new Derek Brooks Pensacola Classic Celebrity Tournament here, trying to fill the void where the Panhandle Charitable Open used to be and used to support all the people around here. So we're going to combine this youth camp on the 18th. For the tournament itself, we're going to have a pairings draft at Seville on Sunday night, and then play at PCC on Monday after that for this first Pensacola Classic by Derek Brooks. And so, all that's going to be, it's a great thing, because now all of the celebrities that come to work the Josh Sitton camp, such as Jordy Nelson, I love to show his name out. And that
he's a great guy.
Taba Rubin's another one. Fred Robbins, E.G. Green will be a part of it. I'm even going to get Kevin Sluter out there, my Mississippi State Dogs represented, and all that kind of stuff, and Dominique Hickson as well. So they'll be all a part of this Josh Sitton camp. It will be coached and instructed by the national championship players from UWF. Coach Shinnick brings all those kids out, and they do all the instructing, and what a great deal that is. And so then we'll move right into the Derek Brooks Classic, which Derek's going to bring. He's bringing Booger McFarland, Mike Allstott, a bunch of the Tampa guys up here to get all of this involved in one weekend. It's going to be a huge weekend. Hopefully this thing grows and explodes, and we'll see what happens. So,
Space wanted to be like a Booger McFarland. You're about to make a comment about broadcasting. I could see that right there. Okay, I was going to say.
Look, he's doing a huge favor coming down.
Actually, Booger just texted me the lowest score wins at the tournament. The lowest score will win the golf tournament, so there you go.
Is he going to be drawing?
Now, listen, Booger, see, this is what happens with anybody. People latch on to what people say, and they ear on. He's actually not that bad, but he does once in a while say the complete obvious. And I mean, it's like, okay, you know, Bill Walton does too, but Bill's also hanging out with the Grateful Dead, and Jerry Garcia's been dead for 20 years. So let's just put it that way. But I will tell you, if you look right now at what's going on down here, we have so much going on, and I'm telling these kids out here, because our job here, we get to talk sports all the time, and breaking down Jimmy Garoppolo and San Francisco and Green Bay, we love doing that. But the main reason why at 5 o'clock we come on air is to make it about the local teams and to get to walk out there and get to take the first selfie with Pete Shinnick when he got off the plane right there. Click. That has nothing to do with anything.
Cool. Thank
you. I appreciate that. But it was more that a guy named Brillante got right through from TSA without getting checked. That was the
You got somebody fired for saying that comment.
No. Please. Lewis, if you guys out there listening, I went right through the system. You guys, people at Pensacola Airport are amazing, by the way. It really is. It's one of the nicest airports you ever go. But I will say this, though. The difference with what we have here, Coach, you lived in Tampa, which is huge and has pirate ships that take up a whole entire week of society, which is awesome. And I remember 4 of those 7 days. But I do remember looking back at living in Vegas and Boston, Orlando, all these places, and what we have per capita and what it happens. I remember Flash saying it on the mic, and I think he wasn't basing on facts, but he was right. He was in studio with us when Gordon Sprague said, he goes, we have more athletes per capita than any other city in America. And it's almost true when you think don't take it for granted that other cities have a Bubba Watson, that they have a people like Doug Baldwin, that they have Derek Brooks, Emmett Smith, Trent Richardson's,
Justin Gatlin,
the world's fastest, fastest man is from here.
I mean, come on, and Michelle Snows, come on. I mean,
now we're reaching.
Now we've just fell down.
The great thing about it is those guys live here, stay here. They ride around their cars. They get out and go into Publix or Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, and they're part of the community. And I think that's a great thing about what Josh does and all of these guys. Really.
Awesome to see all of them and take it. And what I meant to say is take advantage of it.
Yeah.
If your kid, take advantage, because you're not going to get these opportunities. And what Fred does with Mr. Robbins' Neighborhood, what you guys do with Suitor 55, a lot of these events and these things are open to the public for free. A lot of these events. Now, some of the leagues are paid, but we have to pay for everything. I checked some of the prices of what I used to think for basketball shoes. I told a kid one time, I was like, I'll get you a pair of basketball shoes. And he was like, oh, I love the new Jordans. And I was like, I didn't say that. You get some of those knockoff Everlast. But I will say, at the same time, sorry, son, I can't afford that. But one thing is, you guys do so much for everybody out there. And this opportunity for the kids to meet the future Hall of Famers out at the Senior Bowl,
right?
Also to meet the opportunity to get to be in Josh Sitton camps and this. Take advantage of every one of these moments.
There's no doubt about it. And it's something that that comes up, that there's some free opportunities. Absolutely. I did on January the 7th, I did a Success Through Athletics recruiting seminar, and we had a room full of kids and their parents there. And I just talked about the process because they don't understand it, and so we went through the academic parts. That's pretty easy. But now when you get into the process of where we're doing a recruiting board, and kids get upset, well, I didn't get recruited by my favorite school. Well, maybe they didn't need you.
Yeah.
All those type things. And so you can't get hung up on that. So that was a free seminar. I'm going to do a lot more of those kind of things. Hopefully I get into youth coaching a little bit, and then ultimately we want to get to where we're doing a flag league for the high schools during the summer, so
that's
they
awesome.
Get out and throw. So that's it.
Well, getting to cover the games, the high school games and stuff like I've done, that's been the coolest part to me, and that's where people don't realize how much talent we truly have here. It's in our backyard right now, and that's where I think that you're right. We need to support the local community and what we do. And what you're doing is amazing. I mean, doing all these camps and you're spearheading all this stuff. We have the people here.
Yes.
Including yourself. It has knowledge that's beyond anything we can ever imagine. That's where I think kids, if you're listening,
don't let him smooze you. By the way, he's trying to get a ride home. But his car broke down. But no, please.
But no, that's
one more comment. We do love you. We do love you. But if he does another one, it's clearly for a ride. All right.
I understand.
That's where I think it's so important. And with UWF doing that, it caps off look, I'm from here. I love this place.
Right.
I don't want to go anywhere else because I love this place so much. And because
he doesn't have a car either. So continue. Sorry.
But let's take it one step further.
Sorry to break.
All right,
that was a good speech I ruined. So
one step further. Let's move to now getting with the school district and saying, listen, let's emphasize the importance of being involved in team sports because it's on the decline.
Absolutely.
All right. And so I think these kids need to understand, whether you go to the NFL, NBA, whatever you do, it's fine. I hope you make it, but only 1% of you are, And so let's prepare you for life through team sports. Let's make it important again here in Pensacola in the school district system. And so I'm anxious to see who gets a point in that, and hopefully we can get a meeting with them.
Coach, you've been here for an hour with us, and I appreciate every minute we have right here with Coach Dave Wilson. But, Coach, I also want to get to a couple of the questions about what's going on around football and the NFL and college. So quick hitters, we'll spend a few seconds on each one of these. Jameis Winston, will he be long-term with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I don't believe so. I think
Bruce Arians said pretty much no bias.
Yeah. Bruce, I met him, talked with him, spent a few minutes with him. With the free agents that are available out there, I mean, gosh, you got Breeze, you got Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, and you got a lot of other guys behind him that you sit there and look at. So no,
Tampa Bay Lightning. We got a text coming in from Ethan about that. Do you believe they can take that next step to become the team?
If they can get more slashing penalties and holdings and knockdowns and fights to prepare them for the playoffs, they'll make it through the playoffs.
I like why. Look, they're a fun team to watch. They score a lot. So, that's always fun right there. This one not as easy of a one-word answer, but James Franklin and Penn State, they're dealing with some bullying issues, and we'll make it broad like that. But I want to say, as a head coach, do you feel these type of situations, you can't know everything going on, but you should be able to know sometimes the ethics of a kid. And some of these stories, the way that what they were saying, and I'm just going to say it because it can't, but like, I'm going to Sandusky you. Hopefully kids... It's not funny to anybody saying that to somebody if you're actually like physically touching. I don't know what's happening with everything there, and I want Penn State to be known as Penn State. And
I agree. Yeah, I do too.
But right now, we finally were getting back into that process, and then this story comes out. What do you? I mean,
all you can do
in a
is
locker room.
You're gonna keep hammering them about the fact. Listen, guys, you're establishing your brand.
Do you know James at all?
Yeah,
okay,
I've had a chance to meet him at the AFCA conventions and that kind of stuff, and I know he's down the right path, and he keeps trying to go down the right path. There may come a time, Chad, when you have to say, well, you're not fitting into our culture, and Mike Norville's a good one to talk with about that as well, to say it's time for you to go. Don't ever be afraid to get rid of your best player. You've got to go in with that mindset, because if you're going to have control of the team, you got to have control of those people.
LSU, it's a marathon, not a sprint to be someone elite. And what Coach Stalling said yesterday is true. The great coaches are the ones that do more with less.
Right.
And the ones that have, I mean, I feel like a lot of people could have taken Joe Burrow and figured out after watching him play. But remember, there was a 16-touchdown Joe Burrow to a 60-touchdown Joe Burrow, an 8-4 to a 15-0 guy.
Right.
And then you look right now at what he's been able to accomplish. Do you feel with both Joe Brady, who is an innovative mind, and also a guy like Joe Burrow leaving, that LSU is going to be able to keep that success, or do you see it going back to more of the 9-3 type team?
They'll have success. I don't know if they can duplicate what they've done right now, because the Joe Burrows only come around ever so often. Danny Werfel's, with us in high school in Fort Walton Beach, and different guys like that. They don't always come around. But I will say this: when you lose two key people like Aranda and Brady, that's hard. That's hard to come back from. I don't know if I read into anything into that. Is Orgeron a good coach that players love to play for, but a coach that coaches? He's hard on them.
Yeah,
he's hard on them, and I had to get used to that with Jackie Sherrill. But the thing Jackie did, I mean, he dog cuss you out in 1 minute, and then 2 minutes later, Dave, come on, let's go grab a beer and sit down and shoot.
I tell my wife that all the time. Guys, like we'll say things to each other and have these fights and walk out the room, and 2 seconds later we're cheers. And when you get married, you realize it doesn't always work. You got to hold back. And I don't know, even go down this path. Yeah, he's girls and guys are different. That's what I meant to say. Men are from Mars, women from Venus. I'm moving on from that.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, and by the way, she made me the best crock-pot chili ever. It is amazing right now. So she's awesome. She's better half, obviously. She's like somebody married you, Chad.
Look,
so at all. Like
schmooze later on.
Okay. All right, you still getting a ride home from? All right. So let's get to this though. I do want to ask this question as well. Looking right now, the Odell Beckham situation, not the one of the buttocks, but the situation with there's a warrant for his arrest, by the way, for the people that don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, for Odell Beckham, you know better. To me, look, Odell, if we were sitting around here, he's not a horrible human being, but he's a diva. and he's a flat-out diva to the point where he made something that wasn't about him him. And he might get people in trouble for it. But what do you think the NCAA is going to do to this situation, handing out bills? And Joe Burrow didn't mince words. He's like, yeah, that was money. It was real money. Like,
well, I don't mind it so much with Joe Burrow because once that game is over, he's
not there. Yeah,
exactly.
Gone. He said that too, yeah.
And so now the other guys and the problem is you bring a lot of attention to your quote institutional control, who you're allowing around your players and those kind of things. To me, if I'm at Ogeron, Odell Beckham, you're not welcome to come around anymore. And try to use that because the NCAA is going to take a harder look now at you, and you say, well, they can't take the national championship away. No, they can't, but they can take scholarships away.
Does every team – you were at Mississippi State and Georgia Tech and work with Tampa and with Derek directly. You know – does every team have a quality control kind of guy? Like that pretty much is like sort of the secret service of the team?
Yes. Everybody has, some type of a guy. It's usually a retired guy that's, from the criminal justice system at some point in time, and they really keep a sharp eye on all that. Everywhere I've been, that's been the case.
And you know that. People that don't know that, I know a little from being around locker rooms and being around the business for a while. You know directly. Coach was saying it today. Coach K was talking about today. They hired FBI agents, which were on staff, on retainer, that would find out every detail about the players before they brought them in.
Yes.
Every single one of them, what they did. And so for people to think that this stuff, they know the NFL has taken over a day, and I still go on Sundays when I can, but it's taken over a day from the church. I mean, really,
sure.
NFL and Disney are the two most powerful things in this country pretty much.
I would,
and
agree.
Probably Anheuser-Busch, but that's for older people to know. But I'm telling you, it's something that you look at right now. The NFL, they know every detail of everything. Right?
Oh yeah, they do. And I can remember sitting, excuse me, at Mississippi State when the head, the head analysts, the head scouts from each pond would come in and close the door, and they wanted to ask questions. That weren't just normal questions. They wanted to get as deep as they could. I mean, I tried to do that in recruiting in college where I would go – the first person I'd go see when I went to school to see about a kid was go to the English teacher because the English teacher is going to tell me the truth. Mm-hmm. Does he sit in the front? Does he sit in the back? Is he a disruption? Does he turn in his work? All those kind of things. And so that's just a minor part of what the NFL goes in depth-wise.
So you're saying Joe Oliva did not go to Coach Joe's English teacher? I had to throw that. Sorry.
Maybe not.
Go Tigers right there. Hey, you know what? I've never seen, and just because I have the bear here, go Tigers, I'm latching on. My wife went there. So, but when he's not buying. My Patriots lost. I know the dynasty's coming to an end. His Titans, I have to look at them every day. So I'm latching on. Go LSU. So LSU wins, though. But I've never – that probably just based on – I'm going to call a spade. What happened being sort of just Alabama's just would walk over them over the last kind of years. They wanted to be – they're pretty much a morph image of the system, the style, but Alabama kept dominating. Even when they beat them in the regular season, they had to play them again in the national title last time they were there and lost. LSU needed that national title more than any other team I can imagine because if they didn't win that, like you said, we could see Edo revert back to a 9-3 without Burrow, but that team needed to win more than ever because winning that game, if you just got second, you would have been forgotten. If you win that game, it'll always be something special.
Oh, absolutely, and and that's shown out in a lot of different programs. It showed out at Troy when I was there and coached there and all that stuff, and you continue to have that type of success.
Is Sawyer going to stay around Kentucky by the way?
Yeah, I think Sawyer's got to stay up there and get in a good year and see what happens.
I don't think he was given the longevity of what was going on, and pretty
no,
much.
You're right. Yeah,
I mean, I saw the good and the bad, but he was thrown right in the wolves against Florida. Florida, right? This is a top 10 defense in the nation. He was thrown right in there, and he made some good plays. But I remember watching when it was the Dollar General Bowl. Now it's Lending Tree.
Absolutely.
But again, that game, he was the star against Buffalo. He made the plays for Troy to win that game. And a Tate grad right there. By the way, is a Graham Gano is going to get back. Carolina can use every piece now. They might not kick a lot these days now that Joe Brady and Matt Rule are out there. But we'll see.
Graham will get back. I like Graham a lot. And I'll tell you who I really like. Tannehill is a great example right now.
Yes.
Of change of culture, change of scenery, changes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, in Miami, he looked average at best.
Yeah.
you know. And now he's putting the ball in places where you wouldn't ever expect that to happen. And, of course, he's got a little sidekick back there by the name of Henry.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant his wife.
No.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Wow, what a beast. I think he's taken over Marshawn Lynch, you know, type thing. And so
he's always been incredible.
Oh.
You remember him? You probably remember him at Yulee when he was in Yulee?
Well, I saw him in Orlando when he was down, just came out of Alabama, was down there training.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Dak Prescott was a specimen. And all of a sudden, here comes Henry running out there, and I said, oh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't want to get in front of him and tackle him either.
There's a couple guys that they just look like freaks, and there's some players like that, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just built in a way. Even, you know, Charlie Ward, I remember talking about Alex Leatherwood, and when he was there, and I remember Charlie, in a very kind Charlie Ward manner, was like, well, you know, but if he works on his footwork, it's going to be really good. He's good, but if he got the footwork going, and then I remember, like, watching him play, and I said, if this guy ever developed into what Alabama can do with him, now he's an All-American type player, and he's coming back, which is huge for him. He's going to be he could be a top 15 pick in the NFL draft next year.
Yeah,
Not this year, but in 2021.
I think that was a great choice.
But there are a lot of athletes like that. What Scambia did this year. Mike Bennett's been around for a while, doing a great job. We were down there for the pep rally and having fun with them, but they played a really good football team, by the way, in that game, Miami Central. But we're so proud of what has happened in this area this year.
There's no doubt, man, and we just want to keep it rolling. You know, and be a great representative of Pensacola. Yeah. That's what I want all the sports to lead to.
Yeah, and I want to throw this out here. You know, Coach Dave Wilson moves back here, Studer 55, Blue Wahoos, and everything that's going with Derek Brooks, Under Armour, ESPN. We create this station back again with Dave and Mary. All of this stuff happens at the exact time all of our local teams win national titles. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, we did nothing but sit in these rooms, but we are taking credit as it's all coming together.
Absolutely.
But if you build your own
they
opinion,
will win.
You form your own opinion, but I'm just giving us some love. And
exactly.
Kids at the home's like, they didn't do anything. I'm the one that ran that football. But maybe coincidence, but we'll see. Guys, enjoyed it, Coach. I appreciate everything so much.
Appreciate you, Ted.
Always a pleasure.
January 24th, right there. Go out there, have some fun. 9 a.m., Blue Wahoo Stadium. All the Senior Bowl, well, not all of them, but some of the great Senior Bowl players will be down there on the field. It is something, if you're out there with your kid or even you're just getting out there, it is the kind of thing that you'll always remember for a lifetime. I remember, last year it was awesome. Every moment of getting to watch the future stars, the best players, the Jalen Hurts, people like, hey, say something to Jalen. Go out there. Well, no, don't yell at him, but like kindly walk up to him and talk to him. This is the guy that is a class act. I mean, getting to see, I want to walk up to him and shake his hand and just say, thank you for being a great ambassador of the game.
Exactly.
Because he taught so many people that, man, you were the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, and you humbly sat there and didn't immediately transfer, but watch another guy win a title. And then when it was your chance to walk into that game, he's the reason. If he doesn't show up in that game against Georgia, they don't win.
No.
And he's the kind of guy that deserves the accolades and the tip of the cap. Great to see so many people like that. But Jalen Hurts is somebody that is more than just – I'll leave you with this. I think we remember good athletes. We honor great people.
Absolutely.
And I think Jalen Hurts, like Derek Brooks, people like that, will remember that forever. Don't cry. I know your car's burnt. They'll give you rather. Coming back for more. It's the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, Blab TV. Thanks again to Coach Dave Wilson. Thanks, Coach.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Sometimes our light shines bright. Sometimes it's dim. But we all have a light inside of us, waiting to be discovered to illuminate our own path. At Bright Bridge, we light the way for individuals in need, empowering those looking for a second chance, bringing forth a brighter future. Bright Bridge Ministries. Learn more or donate today at brightbridgeministries.org.
Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
How about we add Sunday to that list? It's the NFL Tailgate Show at World of Beer.
Your plans just changed.
Yes, they did. Live show, games, prizes, NFL legends.
500 bottles of beer on the wall.
And you can try them all.
And no wrong choices.
Well, trying all 500 week one, that could be a bad choice.
World of Beer. Beer as you have never experienced it before.
Come on, bro. That was my tag. Your NFL party awaits you at World of Beer.
World of Beer.
Really?
Bowling is a sport that will last you a lifetime, and at Cordova Lanes on Airport Boulevard, every night there is something exciting happening. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, it's penny a pin. Bowl 100, pay $1. Or how about starting your weekend off right by reserving a lane for just $25 at Moonlight Bowling. Enjoy a fresh-made pizza and the lowest pitcher prices in Pensacola. So what are you waiting for? It's time to roll your way into Cordova Lanes and experience fun like never before.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
ESPN Radio is taking over ESPN News. You can now watch your favorite radio shows all in one place. From Golick and Wingo. Oh, yeah. To the Dan Levitard Show with Stugotz.
All right, I'm available every day, thanks.
To the Stephen A. Smith Show.
I just don't understand this guy.
To the Will Kane Show.
It's my job to tell the truth.
From morning to night, the best of ESPN Radio is now available on ESPN News.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh, that's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron.
He's nothing but a lame-head old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cowturd.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
I've been counting on my steps, on my nose just turned to yes. Silently I must confess my troubled history.
And welcome back, Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV. Thanks for joining us here, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. If you're out there wondering, by the way, I want to make this clear. Just help everybody out because I have to answer these questions anyway, sometimes on email, so I'm just going to make this clear. If you're listening on 1330, right about 6:30, 7 o'clock, when the sun goes down, an AM frequency by law, I'm giving you some knowledge out here, goes down. So if you don't pick up the signal, I've been listening during the day at any time throughout pretty much about 16 hours of daylight, we're on in 4 states across the board. But when it gets dark, AM signals by law has to fade down. Turn it over to 99.1. So making that clear to somebody. If you're listening, you're like, I can't pick up the show anymore. And you're like, well, if you're not picking up, this is all irrelevant to you. But I will say, I want to make that clear to people that are asking that.
Well, if you can't pick it up on 99.1, you can go to the website.
Yes.
Live stream it right there.
Live stream right there.
Just
check
set
it
your
out.
phone down. There you go. Or Bluetooth.
Anytime right there. ESPNpensacola.com. Or also you can watch on Blab TV, and it's played 5 to 7, replayed midnight to 2 a.m. So there's so many different ways. I'm
even
just
regardless, if you just like ESPN Radio, and when our show's done, it never ends. Just go to the website.
That's that simple right there.
There you go.
You click it, bookmark, have it right there, and you can click it anytime. Listen to it at your fingertips. We all have phones on.
I do it all the time.
I watch a family talk about something that they shared. The kid looked at his mom yesterday and was like, "Mom, look at this," and handed him the phone over. And it was something that he could have just talked to her about. He could have just been like, "Hey, this guy's wearing a blue shirt," but he's like, "Look at that blue." I'm like, "Can we have conversations as families now?"
I do it at the gym though. That's easy. I could just put the Bluetooth on my phone. Boom, there you go.
You're the guy that talks at the gym, Darryl?
Huh?
Mind giving me this spot? Are you the guy
No.
you put like 645 plates and then end up like, you mind doing a spot? Actually, my shoulder's a little sore right here. I'm going to go ahead and I got this. And then they walk away and everybody's looking. And then you just take off 5 of those plates and, go back.
No.
Just me.
No thanks.
I told you the story, right, about us spray painting the yellow plates. Did I not tell you this?
No, you did not.
Well, look, I had the nickname Bones Malone. Many names, by the way.
You have more nicknames.
Well, think about it. Yeah, I had a lot of names. Spike, Bones Malone, Smiley.
Waffle House?
Waffle House was one of them. Yes, it was.
That's the one I learned
Doug
today.
McAllister, if you're listening, that was his. Yeah, So if any of them out there with all the names, a lot of nicknames right there. But some that were given to me by court. But I'm just kidding.
Yikes.
But when just joshing with you, but they're not going to find me. I will. When I was Bruce Thompson.
Yeah, you think Chad's your real name?
Bruce Thompson back in Albuquerque. But I will say that one thing about it was we had all of the different weights, and they were yellow, but there were 10-pound, like the plastic one, or the rubber 10-pounders, but they're the same size.
Oh, no.
You see where this is going? Okay, all right. Only I would do this.
How miserable.
I'm the one that did this, and I think those things all got either pretty much like, did you spray paint these? So took the silver spray paint from over at Walmart, $3.49 a can, and I remember spray painting all the 10 weights and then marking the 45s. So I just added 35 pounds on each one of those bad boys. So I got up there and I put 4 on each side, which was actually only 40 pounds on each side.
You broke all the records.
So 80 pounds plus the bar at 45. I was doing $125, which even I could do. And I remember sitting there, and these people, we had the clear windows right up there like we do right now if you're watching on TV. We had the clear windows, and the other team was getting off the bus. And they were way better than us. We knew it. So we got these little 6-foot, 150-pound guys out there up there doing squats with what looked like about 400 pounds. And it was like $125 each, and made the whole like Scott Cochran, like yeah, like getting everybody pumped. And clearly this was a complete. And there was some. You want to talk about intimidation? Like, what? Is that little dude right there playing point guard there? He just lifted like a bus, man. Like him. It worked. We lost the game by 20 instead of 30. So I'm saying it worked that day. Let's get to some of the things going on right now. Looking at Conor McGregor, this fight, by the way. Cowboys surround. Is this all the fights that have been hyped about Conor McGregor? This actually might be a better fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, this actually could be a better fight. Like the whole Pacquiao thing with Mayweather, or the Mayweather versus McGregor, the ones that we made into these monopolies, and they made a lot of money. They weren't great fights. This one, I think this one's going to be a good fight. I really do. McGregor's not the same guy that he was. I'm not acting like an expert. We have a lot of experts. I do watch UFC, but I will say that this fight, to me, it's not a walk in the park at all.
I want to believe that. I really do. I mean, I would like to see McGregor lose just to see it.
Just to see that.
And look, Cowboy Cerrone, I like the dude. I like him.
He might throw a chair through you.
He might, but, I like it, the personality and everything that goes along with that. It's just, I don't know. I hope it is a good fight. Part of me just doesn't feel like it's going to be. Yeah. Look, for anybody, Conor McGregor is nothing short. He has nothing short to say. He told Chad Johnson, he was like, yeah.
The next kicker for the XFL.
Chad asked him, he's like, hey, who I put my money on? He was like, oh, you can bet on me. Of course, he's not going to say anything else. But just McGregor, in the way he is, he predicted a knockout. And he said, but there's no bad blood between us. I kind of believe that with these two guys here. I really don't. It's just not. Cowboy Cerrone's not that. A lot of people don't like him. I don't understand why. I mean, I like the dude. I hope it. Like I said, I'm gonna end this. I hope it's a good fight. I really do. Part of me doesn't feel like it's gonna be that way.
Well, see, like the ladies might like both these guys, but I just was looking over here.
Ladies like the Cowboy.
And look, but on the front cover, and I don't. Right now, to have a shirtless cowboy for the guys at 90. Is that me? I must be dating back right there. Photoshopped. I'm not. Dad bod has helped me a lot in my life. But I will say, Cowboy Cerrone. This is a guy that is somebody that, and I'm saying it right? Cerrone. Okay, I just want to make sure.
By the way, have you seen the Vegas?
I knew that, by the way. But I will say though, Cerrone. The one thing about him is he is somebody that. I've watched a couple of his fights. See, 31-13? I'm not looking at
36-13.
36-13. He's been pretty solid, but he's kept himself in good shape. This should be a good fight from a standpoint of, I don't think, it's not as much as he's the same fighter he once was, because he's always been good, but it's more of he's more of the style. Got the cowboy hat. It's more the image than the actual fighting. He's lost a lot.
Personality.
It's a personality. Conor McGregor, though, I just don't think is that dominant. When Khabib went out there and beat him, it opened up a door for, okay, he can be beat. And he's lost 4 fights. I'm hoping for a good fight because I'm actually going to get a chance for the first Saturday to watch it in a long time.
Have you seen Vegas? The Vegas odds?
Yeah, I have. Okay. It's like what, -300 or 400 for McGregor?
Yeah, -300 and then plus 245 for Cerrone.
Looking at some of the other things right here, like Carlos Beltran, they parted ways. He's now the third one in part of what's happening. I'm not 100% sure what to feel on this.
I don't
like
think
Ron Burgundy with his hand.
I don't know.
I'm Ron Burgundy. I don't know.
I don't
Ricky
know
Bobby?
how we should feel about any of this stuff. I still feel like there's a lot more out there that should be told in this whole instance.
Yeah.
That they're not going to say, and I get it. But and the other interesting part too is how many teams. I know we're not going to find this out, but how many teams were doing this same exact thing? You just didn't get caught.
Bill B from Foxborough just actually texted in. He said, "You're all amateurs." Billy B. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Might be coach.
Is that
Go ahead.
What about Vinny? Vinny from the liquor store. Remember he was talking about the national championship game.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right.
Has he talked to us since?
We're all good. No, he was calling out some people right there.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy he's not showing up anymore. Nah, get him out. Get him out. Get him. I'm not the one making these decisions, but Mets agree to part ways. First off, let's not act like for 2 seconds that these organizations are wanting to go in there and fire these guys. Let's make that clear. They just went out of their way to hire this guy a couple weeks ago. So, borderline Hall of Fame kind of guy, Carlos Beltran. You think he's a Hall of Famer? Not now. I bet not now. I mean, sadly not now. But
no,
I
think he should be. And
he will not. He will not.
No, he won't now.
Baseball are the most. I get actually count down the days. I think it's 172 days before I get a vote. I was part of the American Baseball Writers Association.
I will vote
when I was
for
out there.
you.
I'm making it clear out there. Somebody's like, he's ruining the game. No, I'm going to be the one that sticks up for what I believe. I'm going to use what we don't use a lot in today's society, common sense.
What?
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at players that, 2 things. Did baseball and Bud Selig and the organization give these guys actual suspensions or fines for their doings, or did we as a society judge them? Now, when we judge them, we can all say we're about 99% right on some. Look, Barry Bonds clearly didn't just take protein shakes. But at the same time, do you know how many pitches Barry Bonds missed in his career?
No clue.
0. Barry Bonds never was suspended one single pitch. So we just decided to put asterisks next to him. Baseball did, and baseball reaped the benefits of him having a 680 on-base percentage. So I look at the game and say, he was a dominant player. I think we need to say, was Barry Bonds a Hall of Famer when he was in Pittsburgh? Yes, for sure. 30 for 30. He was 30-30.
Yeah.
They'll do a 30 for 30. But everything across the board, he was great. So he's the best baseball player I've ever watched. Is he a jerk? Did he grow the size where his neck started looking like...
Yeah, but I don't think the jerk thing should matter.
No, they shouldn't. Ty Cobb would drink a bottle of whiskey and spike somebody with his cleats.
Right. Ty Cobb was a racist.
And he's got a statue out there. Yeah, they all were.
I know. That's what I'm saying, though.
So I'm not... Sorry about that. Not everybody. Some guy listening in his hundreds I was always good to Jackie Robinson. But I will say...
It's a good voice.
Thank you, man. That's what a 100-year-old sounds like. I went there. But... a guy like what we saw out of Carlos Beltran, like a whole entire 20 years of his career is now, because of him being part of that.
It's tainted.
It's tainted. It's done. Completely tainted. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back for more. It's a Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV.
Paralyzed Veterans of America, National Service Officers.
We've got an entire generation of men and women who have seen war. They're going to need voices.
Paralyzed Veterans of America represents them.
We're going to make sure that the Veterans Affairs gives them everything that they're entitled to.
Get all the health care they need.
Making a person's house adaptable.
And we also focus on getting them a job.
We help our veterans for free.
Changing lives, building futures. That's Paralyzed Veterans of America. To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
It's a new year and time for a new car. Bob Tyler brings you the most dependable line of cars at the best Bob Tyler Toyota prices. Drive the new 2020 Toyota Camry LE for just $239 a month, or new 2020 Corolla LE only $118. If a new year, new car is for you, get to Bob Tyler Toyota right now, where caring means quality at our best price. With approved credit, 12,000-mile, 36-month leases, $32.99 down for Camry, $29.99 down for Corolla. Excludes tax tag, registration, and title, 0 security deposit. All prices include $899.50 dealer fee. See dealer for details. Expires 1/31/20.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
Jackson Pace Pharmacy has exciting news for ED patients. Viagra 100 milligram generic is finally here. Get it today. 30 tablets for $80, less than $3 a pill. You heard right. Viagra 100 milligram generic is less than $3 a tablet. A prescription from your doctor is required, so stop by Jackson Pace Pharmacy and cash in on the savings today. 2256 West 9 Mile Road in Pensacola.
To give batters a different look, pitchers throw a changeup.
Your idea of a different look is sunglasses.
That's true. But La Quinta Inns and Suites is really taking the different look thing to a new level.
Definitely a major league makeover, starting with a bolder, brighter lobby full of comfortable spaces to let you settle in.
Or chill out in front of a big flat screen like Wingo would.
Oh, you know it. It's a changing La Quinta look to help you get in the zone and look sharp when you hit that big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. You can check us out as well, ESPNpensacola.com. Bookmark it, and you can have it at all times right there. Just click it. Listen live from anywhere. That's what Jeffrey D does. We'll be at an event, and, he'll be listening right there. Jeff he wins the award. We both are sports enthusiasts. When we get done here, we listen. I don't agree with everything Sarah Sabane says, but it's our show. It's not a game, but we listen. I listen to the whole thing. I never turn it off. 94.5 is fun, by the way. I found like 8 songs so far over there on the blend, Pensacola's blend right here, 94.5, that I end up karaokeing to. So I've yeah.
You didn't like the Baby Shark?
I love Baby Shark, but now that some like old school, you get I heard "It's My Life" by Bon Jovi. Like I rocked to that one, and then everybody else is like, no, it was not a rocking time. When you get up and do karaoke, you think you're a lot better, by the way, than everybody else does.
Just don't watch the video of you doing karaoke, because you'll think a lot more highly of yourself until you watch the video, and then you're like, oh no.
Well, it's a great station over there, and enjoyed some. It brought back a lot of memories. But I will say, you look right now at what's been going on with a lot of baseball and the stories. Beltran is now the third manager to go, Alex Cora and A.J. Hinch, and I'm sure it's not going to be the end. If I'm those teams, all I ask is everybody else check, because I'm not just being like, everybody's doing it, bro, man. But like, everybody past 3 a.m.'s popping bottles. No, there's some people like getting off work and just like leaving places, like go and get cold medicine at CVS Pharmacy, doing it the right way.
I was about to say,
Jamarcus Russell, just doing it the right way. But just saying.
All right.
But overall, I'm just telling you guys, there's a lot of people out there that, just put a broad term, and it's not always fair. But I will say though that I do think I would have to say, if my opinion, and I do know a lot about baseball when it comes down to it, I believe that more teams than not are out there doing something like this. Whether it's a room full of replay, no, but every team, I will say, all 30 teams are trying to get signs. If they're not,
they're trying to get that edge. Yeah. For sure. I agree with that. 100%.
It's a $1 billion organization.
Yeah, exactly.
I put this, Paul Cope and I were talking earlier, and I said, Bryce Harper gets paid. Let me put this in perspective. If you own a company out there, you work for a company. If you're hiring an employee for $64,000, whatever you are, you'll probably do some interviews and you'll get up there. You don't just hand that guy cash. But if you have Bryce Harper, Bryceless, got paid $64,000 an at-bat this year.
Jeez.
It's
depressing.
It's depressing, isn't it? I'm sorry to drop that on everybody on this Thursday, but he got paid $64,000 an at-bat.
That's it. I'm done. Bye.
That's it. And I saw him K on 3 pitches real fast in the dirt against Fulton Avitz for Atlanta, who really caught Storm at the end of the year. He did a good job. Had an awful
Fulton
beginning
Avitz?
of this. He did an awesome job.
He did.
Fulte did, yeah. Can't spell it. Should be on the spelling bee.
No,
right there.
absolutely not.
Absolutely.
I'm not touching that one.
Not me neither. I did a Polish volleyball game in Toledo. This is not it sounds like a joke going here at the bar, but that's actually, I did a Polish volleyball game in Toledo, and I just gave everybody nicknames. It was not fun. Fulton Avitz, though, struck him out on 3 pitches. That was you could have taken $64,000 and put in a paper shredder for that. Just, it was embarrassing. 3, not even close. 3 breaking balls. And Fulte doesn't even throw breaking balls, really. And he got him on 3 breaking balls, not even close. And he was done. So think about that next time you think about how much money goes into baseball. $64,000 for 1 at-bat, and you don't think for 1 at-bat they're going to try to get a 1-up?
Kids, next time you don't want to go to that workout, remember that. $64,000 an at-bat.
Now, not everybody makes that.
No, I'm just saying. There's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
It's only. By the way, that's only going to get more and more and more and more as we.
Because everybody's making more money.
That's what I'm saying. NFL's done it. NBA's done it. MLB. No matter where it's soccer, whatever it may be, that it's going to continue to go up.
And if you didn't see what happened, and we all agree from a football perspective, what we saw for 16 days in Bourbon Street, New Orleans, and the parties going on. Remember, Mardi Gras is right around the corner too.
I don't remember those days.
But either does Odell, apparently. Pleading the fifth. So you're out there partying, and we're all like, man, 16 days between games wasn't the same. I agree. I would have loved to see it the next week. But why was it 16 days? How many times did we see Rex Ryan's face? Mark Sanchez, butt fumble, all those guys we saw. You had everybody, President Trump, everybody was showing. You had 16 days of media coverage and parties and money spent on Bourbon Street and neck. Like
how many
everything.
times did you hear neck?
I mean, it was a party. So every one of those days that counted by, millions of dollars are made for the city of New Orleans. And tons of money was made on, instead of talking about, I'm not even looking up, but no offense, but WNBA contract salaries or anything going on. Like, we got to talk football for 16 days. That is, I went down the path. I could have picked any other sport.
You could have picked anything else, and you did that.
I took the one. I don't mind doing that. I'll be that guy. But I made my point, I think. If you're out there listening in the car, no, I don't need to convince you. If you were like, well, no, I really wanted to know what Della Don's doing in the offseason compared to the national title. Get him out of here. So
wrong show.
Get him. You don't know the show. So you look right now, though, you had 16 days of coverage. 16 days of coverage. And that's why they did it. Because they made a ton of cash.
Yeah, I mean, you can
That's
say,
it. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. It's a business model, and I get it.
But the thing is, though, is we complain about how many days it was, but we tuned in every single day.
Exactly. Every single day.
Every day we tuned in to see what the new news was or what was going on or who said this and who said that. Oh, what is this guy? Is this guy hurt? Oh, was this? What are they doing right now? We tuned in. So if you don't like it, then don't watch it.
In the 70s, we mocked a full-time sports station, the 4 letters. ESPN. Dun-na-na, dun-na. In the 70s, people said, 24/7 sports, you kidding me? Yeah, nobody's going to watch that. Then in the 90s, we started to mock what was MLBs, the NHL, NBA, NFL. They all have their networks. The WNBA does not. But they, why am I doing this? Why am I doing it? Again, I need to stop. Breathe. All right, so we got all these teams. They got their own networks. In the 90s, we're like, I don't know if they can last 24 hours of this. What are they going to do? Going to just show all those NFL films? Da-da-da-da-da. Nope. We'll tune in to talk about, will Joe Burrow be a good Bengal? Somebody has to. I mean, that's what we do. And we do. We go home and we watch it. Yeah. I watch it almost every day. I watch it. So that's the difference is we do. If you're a sports fan, you do. And they work. Same thing for 16 days. They made money off everyone. We're coming back for more. It's the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, Blab TV.
Hey, America. We need to have a little talk. We've got more food than we know what to do with in this country, yet 17 million kids in America are struggling with hunger. Makes no sense. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Hey, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Pensacola is loaded with famous athletes, and when it comes to seeing a chiropractor for their sports injuries, there is one team they trust, Doctors Edwin Roberts. A family tradition for 3 generations, Doctors Edwin Roberts Chiropractic, next to Legendary Fitness on Mobile Highway, has helped champion athletes like Emmett Smith and Trent Richardson. Doctors Roberts specialize in relieving auto accident pain to physicals for the student athlete. The best treatment for sports injuries is prevention. Call 912-4155 for a free consultation and change your life forever.
Hear ye, hear ye. I bringeth thee a message from... a message from the king and his new trumpeter, Stephen. The king wishes me to convey his favor to thine team and thine tailgate. Not yet. He invites thee to let the Bud Light flow forth. And he also wishes me to tell thee that he toasts thee. Waiteth until the end, Stephen! With game day's favorite light lager and the slogan of his kingdom... Oh, dilly dilly.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Talk football every day with Pensacola's own Coach K.
Credit a great performance by Garoppolo. And I love the way he throws the football. He's got all the things going for him.
Every weekday, noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1. Welcome to ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1. Pensacola's home to the best talk in sports, new and improved. We are ESPN Pensacola, 1330 and FM 99.1.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Hey Panini, don't you be a meanie. Thought you wanted me to go, why you trying to keep me teeny? It's a dreamy.
And welcome back, Sports Drive with you right here. Final segment goes now on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM on Blab TV. Thanks for tuning in each and every night. Looking right now at some of the other things going on right now. In the NFL playoffs, we've got 4 teams now with different stories going on, and it's been pretty exciting. Do you really, the first 2, gosh, for Tennessee, it is so hard to judge the Tennessee Titans right now. Even they're confusing you, and you're a fan watching them, because I know, the one thing beating the Patriots, I'll say this, out of all the teams they've beaten so far, which is just 2, I just went like this long to look at 2 teams, but when they beat the Patriots, the defending champs, make that clear. The still champions right now. The champions until a couple weeks. When they beat the Patriots were having problems. Like the Miami Dolphins just beat the Patriots in a game that could have given them the bye, not how to play you. So they weren't the same team. They didn't have wide receivers. They didn't have the guys. Beating the Ravens, I think surprised the whole world. They're 10-point underdog. Lamar Jackson, even though he hadn't won a playoff game yet.
Surprised my world.
Surprised. They were dominating teams, coasting through. And just like that, they hit them. And look, Lamar Jackson moved the football, but I do want to judge when people are like, look, he had 500 yards. There's 2 parts of this. He did move the ball, and he's an incredible athlete. The things he can do, nobody else can do right now. But the difference is when you're 4th and 1 to make a play, or you're in the red zone and you throw a pick, here's the deal with me. And I hope everybody out there, unless you're in fantasy football, you throw a pick after moving the ball 80 yards, what you've accomplished is nothing. So you can move the football, but if you throw a pick in the big moment, you've cost your team a game. The great ones don't do that. Like Mac Jones, good player, but Mac Jones throwing picks cost an Iron Bowl. We have a few seconds left. I do want to say thank you to Coach Dave Wilson for our good friend right here, JP. Have a good one, my friend. I'm Chad Brillante. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in here on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV. And your headlines here from the day. Chad Brillante, JP. Big news coming out of Baylor. They have hired LSU defensive coordinator Dave Aranda as their new head coach. Dave Aranda will be the new head coach of the Baylor Bears, as he was the coordinator right there for the LSU Tigers. And JP, that's a pretty decent hire, to say the least, right there.
Yeah, but it's more the question now. This is his first head coaching job.
Yeah.
But it's more about how does LSU respond from
without Joe Brady. Now it's back to the good old boys.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
it's Edo and Steve Esminger.
Is it 3 yards in a cloud of dust and a good? How's the defense? Aranda's always been there.
They don't want to answer that too soon right now.
I agree.
They're just going to party right now.
But
Grand Marshal the parades and have fun right there.
Got to be answered pretty quick. It's coming up.
It's worth taking the trip to New Orleans.
Indeed.
To sit there with Edo. Think about it, buy him a 12-pack of Red Bull.
Was that just for the first hour or what?
just the cameo. Shotgun. He's got a shotgun Red Bull.
Yes.
Good times. Could use one right now. About to go. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless.
This is ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, sports call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
ESPN